Well, good morning, our beloveds. It is a blustery day here in Santa Fe. Where are you today? Not in body, mind, and spirit, but where are you ecologically? Where are you ontologically? Where are you inspirationally? Where are you effectively? There are so many places where you reside, and hopelessness is the abyss, as many of you know. It is where dreams go to die and do die. So why are many of you stuck in hopelessness when inspiration could bring you up to a different level where you have hope? And it is not hope to save the world. It is just hope to live a fulfilled life for you. Why does the outer world matter so much? If you turned off the news and turned off social media and created a world within your immediate community, within your societal constructs, what would that look like for you? If you no longer had social media to distract you, the news to depress you or to inflame you, what would your life look like? When times were simpler, people were happier from one perspective because they had less distractions to keep their mind occupied. Granted, there were lots and lots of problems back then because there were no equal rights. There are no equal rights now either, but women have more rights now, and the marginalized have more rights now. For example, handicapped ramps, handicapped spaces, handicapped access. That is important for that particular community because it marginally or vastly changes the quality of their life. But how has news that runs 24 hours a day, that glamorizes chaos and hatred and vitriol and lying to the masses because they are there as a business model, and the goal from their perspective, from the board of directors, the CEO and the higher-ups, it's eyeballs and revenue. Your education and information falls much lower on the hierarchy of needs from those types of corporations. Have you looked at benefit corporations, where the requirement is that the needs and desires and wishes and benefit to the society is greater than the profitability to the board members who can be compensated indirectly through other appointments and the shareholders? How does it look in your world? What do you value and how do you espouse that? How do you live it? How do you share it? How do you compartmentalize it? Where you find yourself today in your day-to-day decisions, where you spend your money, what you listen to, what you believe to a certain extent, but believe it or not, that's less important because what you say you believe is not necessarily truth. How you live your life is really what you believe. You can say, I believe in equity and justice, but does your behavior align with that? If it doesn't, then that's not a belief. Then it's a stated affirmation that is not aligned with how you really live your life. A belief really is at the core. It is your intention that matters most here. Your intention is to defraud the public by saying my belief is this, but I really do this. Look at many people who publicly have one personality, but privately have another. The belief that you think they espouse is through their words, yet you look at the private lives that they live, and that is where truth really lies. Now, why are we bringing up all of these esoteric aspects of humanity today? Because we are doing our part to show where the hypocrisy lies, where the flaws lie, where the lies lie, where you are not being authentic and intentional in what you do. Believing that the world has to meet your expectations is flawed. You are one of many here, and you cannot expect the outer world to always align with your inner desires, because there are other people, other institutions, other agencies, other agendas who are co-creating with you. So you cannot believe that you are the creator of your experience. You are the co-creator of your experience. So believing that the outer world will match your inner world is not necessarily truth and is not necessarily aligned with truth. But we do ask that you live intentionally and that you influence those within your circle of influence, and that you believe in what you do, and that what you say aligns with what you do and what you believe and what you support. Look at those hidden parts of you where you lie to those loved ones. Do you watch porn and deny it to your loved one? Do you have affairs and lie to your loved ones? Do you steal from your business? Do you lie or cheat on your taxes, justifying it somehow? Do you believe that you are better than others because you're more educated, because you're wealthier, because you're white and you have privilege, or because you're black and you don't have privilege? We know it makes no sense. But the point is, do you think you are better than others? Or do you just believe that you have skills and you have good self-esteem? But you think that each person has equal value, no matter how slow or stupid or simple they may be in your eyes. Do you offer the least amongst you with compassion? Do you give generously with your heart? Not with your pocketbook, but with your heart? Do you know how to feel compassion? Do you know how to express compassion? Do you know what empathy is compared to sympathy? Have you ever educated yourself on how humanity is evolving into a different space, and where the cosmos and black matter and physics and quantum mechanics and spirituality and lifestyles and the shifting of the earth into a different place within the universal construct, how all of this is true? Have you ever Googled things? Have you ever gone to the patent database? Where do you go to expand your knowledge, to figure out what truth is from a real world perspective? Or do you blindly believe what you hear from the pulpit or the news stations or even your conspiracy websites? Where do you get your data? Do you double check it? Do you believe that you know best? Do you believe that humanity is doomed? Do you believe that the president is actually a reptile in disguise? Where are your beliefs? And what supports that? And why do you believe it when there is no real evidence to support it that is factually known? Does that make sense? We're not saying believe one thing or another. We're asking you to align everything and to validate it through different methodologies. If our another, Kati, says, I am an elephant, and goes around and says, I am an elephant, she may believe she's an elephant, but because she says it and because she believes it, does not make it so. There are certain factual limitations that align with truth. So today we ask you to find out what your truth is, what you really believe at the core of you, because your behavior comes or flows from that. Not what you say to others, I am worthy, while you continue to treat yourself in a terrible way. We just want to educate humanity on what it is to be alive these days, and to believe in yourself maybe a little bit less, and to go within maybe a little bit more. Explore what mysticism is and why it matters to those people, and how they found their truth by going within and shutting out the entire outer world. Can you now see where we are going with this message? Your beliefs don't matter that much if they're not aligned with truth. So maybe set the intention and say, I desire to explore truth more through the eyes of a mystic. So I will believe more in the process of journeying within, and less in believing in outer sources to teach me who I am and what I need to know about the cosmos, the universe, and humanity's central core aspects. I am who I am, but who am I? Who am I really if I'm stardust? Do I really believe that I'm stardust? Or do I just say it because others have told me? Do I blindly believe, or do I ever actually query? This is the time of query us. Maybe you can query us. Query us. Play with words and with sounds. Look into harmonics. Look into frequencies. Look into the intentions and how those manifest things through resonance. Don't blindly believe, but experience and experiment on your own to find your own truth. And even if it does not align with that of somebody else, it is yours, that you sought out and found and unearthed and experienced. No one knows your truth better than you. So find it. And it's pretty amazing when you do, because you will understand yourself and your limited beliefs so much better when you go down that rabbit hole of who am I as I query us. We hope that this lands well with many of you. And so it is. Namaste.